Hi everyone, welcome back. We are ready for another social studies lesson. This one's going to be on New York City landmarks. So last week we did a little review where we talked about New York City boroughs. So these are the 5 boroughs in New York City, just to do a little quick review. We have Queens, Brooklyn, Bronx, Manhattan, and Staten Island. These are like the 5 towns or the 5 boroughs that make up New York City. Now, today we're going to look at landmarks. So we're going to look at what a landmark is, and we're going to take a look at some important New York City landmarks. So a landmark is an object, a feature, or something that is an important part of a specific place. A landmark could be a building, it could be an object, a park, a statue. So it's usually something that when we see it, we think automatically of a place. Okay, so for example, when most people think of New York or New York City, the first thing that comes to their mind is either Empire State Building or Statue of Liberty. When I say Disney, most people would think of this picture, right? And you would think of either Florida, where they have Disney World, or you would think of California, where they have Disneyland. Okay. In this second picture, we have Mount Rushmore, which is a man-made kind of mountain that shows important people in United States history. So that's another landmark of our country. Here are some other famous landmarks in our world. We have Eiffel Tower, which is a building in France. And then we have Great Wall of China, which is a long, long wall that people are able to walk alongside in China. Now we're going to take a look at some landmarks in our boroughs. So we're going to start off with Queens. We have Flushing Meadows Park, which I'm sure some of you may have visited before. Or if you've ever gone to Queens Museum, you can see the Flushing Meadows Park from there. Then we have Long Island City. If you've ever been to a park called Gantry Plaza Park, you'll notice this Pepsi Cola sign. That's a landmark that's pretty important that people see whenever they visit Long Island City. And then we have Citi Field. If you've ever gone to see the Mets play, you would see Citi Field. Then in Manhattan, we have Times Square. So this is not just one specific building. This is all of Times Square, which is like a whole couple of blocks filled with big lights and buildings and just like a lot of signs, a lot of like advertisements. It's really bright and lit up. So that whole area altogether is a landmark that's known as Times Square. Then we have our Empire State Building, which at one point used to be one of the biggest buildings in the world, and it is definitely known as a big landmark in New York City. Grand Central Terminal, which is a train station. In Brooklyn, we have Coney Island, which is an amusement park. Maybe some of you have visited. Then, of course, we have Brooklyn Bridge, where people often like to not only drive, but also walk or ride bikes to get to the other side. Bronx, we have our Bronx Zoo, and we also have Yankee Stadium where our Yankees play. And then Staten Island, there is the September 11 Memorial, and there's also a Snug Harbor Botanical Garden that has a lot of plants and nature for you to see. Okay, I'm going to continue this in a second part, so just watch the second video for the rest of our lesson.